Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. So, Chiefs beat Richards Bay 1-0, and there's a lot of Kaizer Chiefs news that I was not available yesterday to get into, but I finally watched the game and I'm about to chat about the game. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. Number one, to the people who are loyal on this channel and keep coming back for more, I know I have been at fault for not posting enough. Sometimes I'm sure you guys just want me just to discuss Chiefs. Like, just discuss, Baba. Post, Baba. Give us a conversation. It's like, it's a good day-to-day interaction. And that's on me. And yeah, I couldn't watch the game yesterday, but I made time so I can watch it today or in the AMs because I missed it and I couldn't make it. And I've got some perspective on this goal and how we won. There's a lot of moments, I'm sure you'll hear in my discussion, that I'm a bit confused in moments when watching this game, and other times where I'm a bit confident. And you know, there's even more. We got two new players, but I want to make a separate video for that. But Luke Baartman, as you know, Igodaro, as you know, are Kaizer Chiefs players, and that is final. It's good to know. The funny thing about Chiefs right now is that we on top of the log, but we have barely played our new signings, which is an interesting thing to note, meaning that we are doing so well in this team right now, barely having touched the players who are there to sharpen our team. Because it's really Monyani and Undlovu. And Undlovu hasn't even been like he's been playing full games. He's been getting introduced slowly. Monyani is the one player who we can say this is a new Kaizer Chiefs player. But the rest, we haven't gotten a chance to see. So, what we're hoping for is that when the rest start to play, actually get minutes, that they really show us something. But let's talk about this game. The first half, guys, I'm not going to lie. I watched it, and you know, Richards Bay, I've said this in a space once. I think it was a space on X. I told Sundowns fans this, and Sundowns fans got angry at me. They said, I'm a dog, I'm ugly, and all of this. I'm exaggerating, obvious. But what I said to the Sundowns fan is that after the MTN 8 game, I said, yes, Sundowns dispatched Richards Bay 4-0, but whoever in the PSL plays worse than Richards Bay is going to be relegated. And Sundowns fans came at me and was like, no, it's not Richards Bay, it's Sundowns. Sundowns was just that good of a team. And then I was like, I was like, I watched Richards Bay. Richards Bay has no plan to go and score. They don't know how. Like, the players they have in their squad, I don't know if they don't practice. I don't know what happened. But these guys, I think they pray for goals because you can't see a pattern of play to go forward. And that's what we saw against Chiefs. Richards Bay, even in moments where they have good position of the ball, they don't know what to do. It's like they expect one player to dribble the whole Chiefs defense and go and score. And it's like, guys, even if Chiefs defense is weak, that you are asking too much. Your players aren't even that good that you can say they can dribble. These guys were failing to get past cross. That's something that should make you... Like, there's a guy who was playing on the right. I forgot what... I think it was Gomet. That guy has so much pace, but he was struggling with cross because he doesn't know how to beat cross. And I was like, this is not even a thing of... cross is that good or whatever. It's just that the attacker is just not at the level of the PSL right now to understand how to beat to cross. Because cross is a smart defender. Say what you want about cross. You don't just kick the ball and run past cross. Cross will run in the path that you are running. Meaning that you will have to use your strength also to get past cross. And if you don't already know these things are, the only way you can... That's why cross wins a lot of battles, because cross knows how to cut in front of your run when you try to kick the ball behind him. But anyway, the first half was basically that. Richards Bay failing to do that. But the other most important thing was Kaizer Chiefs team not creating enough chances in the first half and large parts of the second half, if we have to be honest. And I don't get it. It's interesting. Chiefs, we even saw this in the preseason. In the preseason, in the first half, we didn't perform. more like defensive or solid or stable. But then in the second half, we had the most chances. And I think it's translated to our current season, where in the first half, not too much is happening, not too much creation. And then in the second half, after one or two interesting subs, we get a more attacking players. So the midfield today was Utaboqele Mthethwa and Undlovu. A part of me wish that I'm happy they started with this. And the reason why I'm saying I'm happy they started with this is that I wanted to see what it looks like. I wanted to see what it looks like when you basically have Umthethwa and Cele that's released more, and Ndlovu who's released more. But when it comes to defensive work, Cele and Ndlovu can still support Umthethwa. And what it did is that it definitely did cut out the supply from Richards Bay. We closed down a lot of their midfielders. Their midfielders were just camping in their half. They couldn't really get out. But what it did, the opposite effect of that, is that Chiefs were just not advancing the ball the right way. And this is where I'm going to have a bad call. I'm going to say something that a lot of people won't like, and I understand, and I said it in a previous video, that there are moments when Duba is doing things as a striker that the football we are playing is not helping us, especially when we're playing a team that has a low block. When we have a team that has a low block and we don't have that striker in the middle of the box, for in case of a cross or whatever, it makes our life difficult. When our striker drifts to the wider sides to support the play on the sides, and then we don't have like a midfielder running behind the striker, we don't have like a Bolilep or whoever filling in that space, what then happens is that then we have no one in the box. And then what we then have to do is that when it's on the left, the ball has to come back into the middle. Then when the ball has to come back into the middle, then it goes to the right. But once it gets to the right and it's time for a cross, let's say Monyani is ready to cross or whoever is there is ready to cross. When it's time for them to cross, like Aboli Lepo, they don't have anyone to cross to really in the box. And that's what makes it a bit difficult, because when we're playing a low block, we are not really unlocking the low block from the middle. We are trying to unlock the low block maybe from the sides, maybe moving them a bit more, etc. But we don't know how to get the ball into a dangerous position, because I think in the first half, the person who got like almost the best chance was Umdu Shabalala when he got a shot outside of the box, but there were so many players in front of him. So even if he didn't shoot it over the pole and he shot it like lower, it was probably going to still hit a Richards Bay player. But in the second half, what we saw is that when we introduced players like Abo Sirino and Abo Ngobo, the players who are more who can find that pass, who can find that run behind, who can find that quick, easy cross in the box. Even Cross was joining that and starting to cross. When we started doing that, we started seeing more of players like about Duba, because Duba was released. His runs were, even though he was running to the side like his assist, but the movement, the way he was getting released by the midfielders at least allowed him to run. But like Duba, he had one good chance in the box to header the ball and he missed it. But the thing is that was one of the few moments I saw Duba in the right position that I need him in the box. That option that is there. Because oftentimes he's peeling off. He's not really running in the box. And like I say, it's difficult because when you see Serino and them on the field, Duba's runs get picked up, right? Even though he's not running towards the goal. And sometimes his runs do assist us, right? They sometimes do assist us. Like if you can find about Serino and stuff like that, they do assist us. But the thing is that it's not working when we don't have these ball playing like midfielders, because it feels like Duba cannot generate any space when he's playing with Abomthetho, Abocele, and Abondlovu and stuff. It's like he can't find the pockets. His runs are almost become useless, because when he runs, when he's in the center, when he doesn't know how to position himself in the center, and he's not getting it. The crosses are not coming for him because he's often not in the position for a cross. Because let me make an example. If we are taking from the right with Lilepo, and Lilepo is in that moment where he has to cross, he chooses not to cross because Duba is not even between the poles of the opposition. He's closer to Lilepo. Then Lilepo is like, hey, there's no one to cross to. So I have to find a way to hit a cutback. Maybe it's going to find Abo Tabokele on the edge of the box. And that's really the only option he has, because he can see that Duba is not in a position to finish off the chance first time. And I think, I don't know if it's a coaching thing, I don't know, but the low block is proving to be difficult. And we're happy we scored, but the chances were difficult in the first half. Second half, with the change, like I say, Ngobo, Sereno, we started finding more pockets in the game. And luckily for us, Richards Bay wasn't really exploiting the fact that we took off Abom Teto in the first half. So they didn't really make us feel like we've lost our bite in the midfield, which is a good technical. I've been saying this, I think, for the past 3 games. Our technical team has been reading the situation of our opposition in the game in a very smart way. Because in yesterday's game, they took off Umtetwa and they took off Undlovu, and they basically brought in Usirino and Ungob. And you can already tell that then it almost becomes like Ucele is going to be like almost the DM in that moment. And we know Ucele can play that position, but most times we worry because he's not a 90-minute player. Most times we worry because the players who are then in front of him can't really do the defensive work, and it becomes a freeway. But under Richards Bay, under the opposition that is Richards Bay, that was not a problem because we were still rotating the ball well. The only thing I will continue to say about Ngobo's game is I'm still not comfortable with Ngobo playing deep, like a deep lying midfielder. I prefer him to be closer to the attackers because he tends to lose the ball trying to use his muscle, or I don't know what he tends to do. But in the game when he came on in the second half, he had good passes, but he also had bad moments where he lost the ball and Richards Bay had a good chance to score. It's just that Richards Bay was doing Richards Bay stuff. But I was like, on a different day, different opposition, better attackers, Ngobo can't be making these crucial mistakes, losing the ball like that. But yeah, I think a lot of you will see that I started this by saying it was a bit of a weird game because it was that type of game where you saw the individuals, how the individuals were playing, and how the individuals were starring in the specific roles. Like, for example, you saw Sereno's individual presence. You saw Ungobo's individual presence where he was finding those passes. You saw Lilepo's individual presence where he was taking on players, being a presence in the box. You saw those individual things. And then you also saw good movement, good touches and moments. But even when we showed fluidity in the movement, there was one thing that is missing. We're not touching the ball the right way in the final third. It's like we're holding on to it in a good way, which is not like last season. This season, Chiefs can hold on to the position for a longer period. That's something that is coaching. That is Nabi's technical team that has made us be more comfortable with holding on to the ball. But the tough thing is that it feels like Nabi's expectation as well is that when we get to attacks, you don't really see our attacking movements or our attacking, like the things that we practice of training in the attack to attack a low block. We don't see the late run into the box. We don't see that. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, it's very difficult. Chiefs is finding it difficult to either move a low block or to either whip in the right type of ball in the box. It's almost like we're just trying things. And the thing is that when we try things because we're relying on the quality of the player, which is why Sereno made a difference in the second half. Because Sereno was making the passes that in the first half you could tell that it's not a matter of we are not playing some type of football. It's just a matter of there's individuals on the park who just don't know how to do certain things on their own, unfortunately. And there's no system that supports them finding a solution to this problem. It's like this problem of the low block, it needed smart players. It needed a player with a certain type of quality. And that's what we didn't have in the first half, which is why we just weren't creating any chances. And we just had the ball. It just looked pretty but not effective. And yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say there. And I think I said this when Nabi joined last season. I'm like, the one thing I've picked up on Nabi's coaching style and coaching quality is Nabi will put a system in place, but his system also needs quality players, because there are certain moments where his system needs a player to just be above average, to think about the solution in that moment. Because in a lot of these moments, when our players get the ball in a certain position, you can see that they run out of ideas in the certain point in the final third, and you can see that there's not a lot of practice to what to do next here, on how to unlock this, on how to do this. So then what it then requires is that smart player, that quick player, quick thinking player, that player who can say, let me try this, let me try that. And that's what we're missing. We're sometimes missing that little spark of intelligence, spark of quality in the attacking third. So that's what I wanted to say about this game. Welcome to our players. Our Luke Baartman. Luke Baartman is actually, I hope these cases just get resolved by this Cape Town Spurs thing. But Luke Baartman is actually a player who I feel under Nabi's system will score a lot of goals. And even Ighodaro. I think Ighodaro, if I have to explain what I'm saying, in the first half when we were seeing a lot of the slow block, Ighodaro probably would have had a good game, because he could have held up the ball a bit more, and he could have found a runner behind, right? Maybe that would assist us. Ighodaro, in moments where we don't really see a plan, we could at least cross the ball to him in the box. And maybe Ighodaro, when you cross the ball to him in the box, he either headers it or he chests it to the player coming on from the midfield, and maybe that's a goal. In the second half, when things get a bit more open, you then have you need a striker who can pick up on scraps, and that's what Luke Baartman is. Luke Baartman is a player who can find a goal that you create for him, or a goal or a ball that is not even meant for him, but he can make a plan for it. That is a striker. If you don't know, if you've never watched Luke Baartman is one of the intelligent strikers, one of the good finishers. So Luke Baartman can find a goal in nothing. In a moment where you pass him in the box and there's three players, three defenders behind him, Luke Baartman is that kind of striker who can still find a way to find a good shot on goal that either pulls out a good save of the keeper or that is a goal. So that's why I say Luke Baartman is our actual marquee signing. Luke Baartman is the most important signing in this transfer window. And it's a player, if you've been on this channel, that I've been talking about for many seasons now, that this player is a player Chiefs needs to make a plan and get. And I'm glad that it's finally happened. Welcome to Amakhosi, Kaizer Chiefs, Luke Baartman.